precious, you mustn't let these children get to you. It really is all right, okay then? Oh, it's the Poppets. Hello, my little Poppets, and welcome to story time once again. Well, we've got a very, very sad Stinky here this morning. Stinky has been very, very upset because he's had a little bit of bother with some children in his class. Some children in his class have been teasing Stinky and saying some things to him that aren't very, very nice. Now, I know that saying sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you, but they do hurt, I'm afraid. When children say horrible things, or not just children, sometimes grown-ups say things too that aren't very nice, they are hurtful. But it is best to ignore them, Stinky. What's that? They said you had an ugly face. Yes, well, you don't have an ugly face. I think you're very, very handsome, Stinky, and not only do you have a handsome face, a lovely face, but you're also lovely on the inside. You're a lovely, lovely boy. You're a wonderful boy, all right then? Yeah, so don't you worry about these nasty children, all right then? Good boy. Well, my dear Poppets, speaking of ugly, I'm sorry to have to say that, but today's story is called The Ugliest Dog in the World. Do you want to hold the book, dear? You do. All right, good boy. Soldier on. The ugliest dog in the world. Look at that. And that poor fellow there has a bucket on his head. Well, this does look like an interesting one, Stinky, I have to say. Yes, I must mention the Storytime cake. Thank you, Stinky. And here the Storytime cake, my dear Poppets, with a lovely pooch on the front there, a dog there, and I do believe he's wearing a mask. Yes, a very cross-looking dog, I have to say. Well, Stinky, are you feeling a lot better now, dear? You are? Yes. Oh, you mustn't let these children get to you, dear, all right then, because you really are wonderful. And you know what, Stinky? Mrs. Whifflewaffle loves you very, very much, all right then? Yes. Oh, you're precious. You really are. So you get comfy, dear, and we'll crack on with the story, all right then? Yes, good boy. Oh, poor Stinky. Oh, it's terrible when that happens, but you know what? You mustn't let that sort of thing get to you, my dear ones. Yes, even Bo had a little bit of trouble at school with some other girls that were giving her a bit of a hard time, but you've just got to ignore it. It's the best way, I think, to ignore it. Yes, you can't let it get to you. And the story is called The Ugliest Dog in the World. And here we go, my dear Poppets. Everybody sees my dog differently. My dad thinks she is the ugliest dog in the world. Oh, that makes me very, very sad. That poor pooch there with a bucket on her head. Because the dad in the story thinks she's very, very ugly. Oh dear. Oh, that's not nice. My mum thinks she's ugly too, but in a cute sort of way. Well, I don't think the dog is ugly, my little Poppets. She's just a different sort of dog, one of a kind, and she's got a lovely pink sweet bow on the top there. And I think she looks very pretty with the bow. The lady next door actually thinks she's pretty, but you haven't seen the lady next door. Oh, you haven't seen the lady next door? Goodness me. Well, there's the dog there, and it has a pair of glasses on and a scarf on its head. Yes, well, a scarf on and rollers as well. Yes, well, sometimes ladies like to put rollers in their hair, don't they? Yes. Even Gran thinks she's ugly. It's funny though, she laughs every time she sees her. And there's the dog there, dressed as a clown. Well, clowns make people laugh, don't they? With their funny makeup and their the hats and big sort of floppy shoes that they wear, and of course the red nose. Grandpa thinks she's shy and stubborn, but it gets ugly when he tries to take her for a walk. Yes, well, perhaps this dog doesn't like being on the lead. Sometimes dogs don't. They like to go for a run or a walk without the lead on. But it's always best to have a dog on a lead, I think. Little Sammy, who wants to be a fireman when he grows up, thinks she's a bit of a drip. Oh, the poor dog. Well, the little boy there has put the hose on the dog. He likes to pretend to be a fireman, and the dog's all wet. She's not very happy at all. Oh, poor pooch. All wet. The butcher thinks she's all beef and no brains. I think he spends too much time in his shop. Oh yes, the poor dog there. Oh, he looks a bit like a bull, doesn't he? Yes, with horns and a ring through the nose. Look at that. Yes, all these awful things he's saying about this poor dog. The postman just thinks she's ugly and would like to send her far away. Well, there's the dog there, and he's dressed, or she's dressed, I should say, as an astronaut, flying up into space. Oh, I thought I just heard a tap on the door. Perhaps that's the postman. Well, I'll have to look later on. Aunt Nellie thinks she's ugly too, in a crazy kind of way. And there she is, dressed there with funny glasses on, and what else has she got? A big nose and a moustache there. She looks very, very crazy indeed. Very silly. Ugh. My brother thinks she's really ugly. He says she's a monster and chases her all around the house. Yes, well that's how the boy sees her. He thinks she looks like a monster because she's so ugly. And the dog doesn't look impressed at all to me. I think she's rather fed up. Yes, not happy at all. The police think that she looks like a criminal, and if she could drive a getaway car, she'd rob banks. Well, if she was a bank robber, my dear ones, that's how she would look. All stripy with a robber's mask on there, covering up her eyes. Dressed as a bank robber. Many, many disguises this different dog seems to have. My teacher thinks she has the classic features of an ancient ruin. In other words, she's ugly. Well, there she is there. Ah, dear oh dear. No one seems to like this dog at all. Look at that. Oh, poor, poor Pooch. I'm beginning to feel very sorry for her. My best friend thinks she's ugly. She screams whenever she sees her. Well, there's the girl screaming, and of course, so is the dog. She's screaming as well. She's not very happy. I think this dog would rather just be left alone, I think. But I love my dog. I think she's beautiful. Well, I'm glad someone thinks that this dog is beautiful. And there's a sweet little poppet there giving her dog, her best friend, a cuddle, and she thinks that her dog is beautiful. Very, very happy, the two of them there. Well, I'm glad someone thinks the dog is beautiful. In a sloppy kind of way. Yes, because that her wonderful Pooch has given her a big sloppy kiss, like dogs often do when they give you a lick. The end. And that was called The Ugliest Dog in the World. And I did enjoy that, my dear poppets, I have to say. And you know what? I don't think that dog's ugly. It's just a different kind of dog. Well, I suppose I should have a chat to Stinky. I hope he's feeling better now, my dear ones, because he was dreadfully upset. Stinky, my precious boy, where are you? There you are. Come up here and say goodbye to the poppets, dear. And there's Bo. And you know what, Stinky? Bo thinks that you're lovely. And I know you two fight sometimes, but Bo told me she's very, very proud of you and she thinks that you're just great. You're the bee's knees. What's that? Did she really say that? Yes, she did. Yes, see, she's nodding. She does. And you'll always have Bo as a best friend, Stinky, and you'll always have me, all right then? Yes. Oh, good boy. You are wonderful. I do love you so. Well, my dear poppets, I hope you enjoyed that book, The Ugliest Dog in the World. Perhaps you could pretend to be a dog, or perhaps you could make a storytime cake with a dog on top. And as always, my dear ones, thank you for watching. Take care until next time. Bye.